Hey YouTube, we are starting in the Fantasy Cup because I do not want to start in the Great League meta. It is so boring. So I decided to start with the team that I put together at my team building yesterday for this meta. Tapu Fini, Giratina, Lucario. It's basically sort of like a balanced team. You have Tapu Fini who can deal with like most things in this meta, quite honestly. And then Giratina is so bulky and spammy. It can do very well in general. Lucario is interesting because you're going to see in some of these matchups just like ramping up is insane, but then you're going to see in other matchups where it's just like it's so glassy in this in this Ultra League. So I'll just go over like the pros and cons. I think it's tough to so I tried to put in battles that were only against good players because like I went 9-1 with this team, right? But two, three of the battles were against like people without proper Pokemon. So I think it's closer to like 6-1, and this is one of them where you're going to see the power to a certain extent of ramping up and then the weakness of Lucario at the same time. So they're obviously not going to shield the first power punch because there's no reason to. You have to shield the focus blast or else you can get nuked. You get to the next move, and so if they don't shield, I'll be able to just farm down completely. So I'm going to grab the shield back because they want to get another move off. And the problem is, so you're going to lose this in the one shield if you do not shield back. But I will shield back because obviously they've done no damage. And I'm going to have energy coming out. And I did grab one shield and I'm 2 times boosted, right? And that's why. So out comes SCAV. Like, I'm not even going to fake like I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. I'm just going to ramp up right away. And they shield and just start like 3 times ramped up. Here comes the 4th, right? And I think we just CMP tie here. So look at that. The Power Punch basically took out Registeel and SCAV back to back, and they throw, so we CMP, which is great. Coming Giratina, I can now just farm down completely. They have a Como, and this is where you're just going to see the bulkiness of Giratina coming through here. Taking that first Dragon Claw like it's nothing, and then I'm going to get to 2 Dragon Claws, no problem here. So I think that the balance between Giratina and Lucario is very good, just as like Lucario who can deal with all the steals, and then Giratina the way it can balance like the bulk, and then where your weakness is with those two, and the weakness in the backline is the fairies, and I saw quite a few like double fairy teams. So I'll go over those when we get to them, but we have, again, I don't mind taking a Shadow Ball here. I've already got a shield, and this is the problem with Lucario, and they try and bait, which is fine, because even if they bait, now if they show off Shadow Ball, they could, which is fine. I've already got 1 shield. They do Shadow Ball. It's fine. I'll take out, so I've got a shield advantage. And now I know they're not going to get to a Shadow Ball before I get to this. I probably could have even just Dragon Claw, but let's just take it out with Sneak for sure. So, and now they come in their own mirror match here. So I will be able to get like, I'll get this off, do chip damage, and then they're gonna get their move off, so I can shield to stay up to go even shield, and then I'm already at another move, so that'll do good chip damage or take them out, right? So Lucario is just kind of glassy, and great catch actually here on their Heatran, and this is where maybe I should have gone right away. What I did was I build up because I'm like I'm gonna bank that move. And then I don't know. I thought that was too fast to get to the fire move, but I was like, I don't know. So I just shield up an Iron Head, which is fine, because this is a Heatran and it's half steel, so I just light it up. Because I'm loaded, I bait. This is kind of a risky bait. It ends up working because they do shield, and now I get to the Shadow Ball before they get to a move, and I don't even need to use my bank move because I'm ramped up. Power Punch up plus Shadow Ball is going to take the rest of this out. So it is kind of a risky bait because if they let that go, I'm not going to get to a Shadow Ball, and then they're going to have a shield in the back end there. So that's a little risky to do, but it did work out there because I did have a Shadow Ball. So they did respect it. Melmetal is tricky. Is this one with Flash Cannon? I got hit once. So you can run 4 moves on this, right? Superpower is kind of a must. Rock Slide is what a lot of people use. I think earlier someone used Flash Cannon on me and it took me into the deep yellow. So I think that's why I shielded this one. But clearly you do not need to shield this one. And they catch on an Empoleon. So good catch. So I'll come in Lucario. And again, this is the problem with Lucario, right? So I guess they got a move through earlier. and poorly timed again. Really poorly timed. Wow. On my part there. And they're already out of move, so I got a shield because like you can maybe live a hydro cannon, but like barely. I don't even know if you could, quite honestly. Lucario is just so glassy. So I'm down 2 shields now. But they have a Melmetal, and they come in there. I'm like, why are you coming to Melmetal? And they come in a Clefable, and I almost throw it here again because grab a shield, man. Just grab a shield, and I baited, and they called it, and now I just Power Punch again, thinking like maybe I can just Water Gun and Shadow Claw down if they let this go. Because I'll take them low enough, and I'm like, okay, Tapu, let's just try and Water Gun this down as much as I can. I'm going to throw there. Okay, Charm comes through. I should have just Water Gun all the way down. I don't know what I was doing. Because I'm not going to get to 2 moves here, and I'm going to have to Shadow Claw this all the way down. And I'm thinking, I am screwed. And then they threw a Psychic. And I guess, I don't know if this is just a single move Clefable. But that Psychic is not going to take me out. So I end up Shadow Clawing down. So kind of really poorly played by me. But that's a problem with Lucario. Lucario, I think, is a Sims hero. So if you do not bait properly, a lot of the matches that you could win with the bait, you're gonna lose. So in this matchup, we CMP, and because we CMP, I'm like, there's no win condition for me here. I'm just gonna get out immediately into Giratina as a nice safe swap, and I get hit with a Berserker, which is one of the very few hard answers for this because Shadow Claw super effective, Foul Play super effective, and it's gonna take multiple moves plus claws to take this out. So I can live 1 Foul Play, and then I will get a Shadow Claw, a Shadow Sneak off here, but it's not enough to take it out. But I think I forced them to throw here because I think the Shadow Claws, that's 2 Shadow Claws, 2 Shadow Sneaks, and I think I can get to a move here. So good counting on their part, playing very well. So once I lost that, and now I lost Switch, but I'm like, you know what? This is actually great because now I'm going to get some extra Water Guns through, which means instead of losing CMP here, I'm going to have an energy advantage. So I'm going to get this off before. So I'm going to grab a shield because this Moonblast would take this out. So this is going to grab a shield. And then I'm like, okay, Lucario is now my win condition. And I believe, if I remember, they have a Giratina in the back. So I let this go. I'm like, I should be able to win. And then Giratina in the back is just so bulky, and a super effective Shadow Ball non-stab is the problem, is not going to take this out. These are resisted Dragon Breaths that are chipping from a defensive Pokemon like crazy on my Lucario. So even though that goes through, does not take me out. I mean, does not take it out. So maybe I could have Power Punched and then Shadow Balled, but doesn't take it out. And I'm like, no, now I need to get to, I don't think a Power Punch takes it out from, no, Power Punch 100% would not take it out from this range. So I need to go Shadow Ball. And I blew it here. I needed to farm up to 100 energy before I threw this, because now I end up getting surfed down right before I get to the Power Punch. Oh, actually, I got to the Power Punch, but it does not seem to register. The game was laggy. So that was my only loss with this team. This matchup is a losing matchup, but it's not terrible. So I try to catch the move because you're such a tanky Pokemon here, and it's a non-stab Drillpex, that's fine. And this matchup is also really not bad if you can shield up Moonblast properly. Because the Claws and the Sneak add up, as you can see, quite quickly. So I do end up shielding because the Moonblast would take me out. And then I shield up properly. And I'm already at Shadow Sneak. So between this and the Claws, like, I'm going to put pressure on the next shield. I think I lose this if I remember. So I do just glow. I probably could have just done a Claw there, but I just go straight for the Sneak, just try and take this out. If I remember, they shield back. And then, so I have two options here. I shield this and farm down and take Switch, or I let it go, and I decide to let it go. That's fine. Because I can come in here. I'm still almost out of move. I know they threw their Drill Peck, so they're pretty empty. And I'm like, okay, Lucario, let's see what you can do. And they have a second Steel in the back. This one is half Bug, which means these counters are only doing neutral. But I know it only has Night Slash here. So Night Slash is resisted. And then this is just the power of Lucario's counter. Even though it's Glassy AF, it is hits like a truck here. And I'm going to get to a move here. And now I can just, I'm 2 times ramped up. Doesn't take it out. because they shield. But now I can just shield back, and I'm Tomb Time ramped up, and now I can just go hard on Empoleon, and they know that. And I think they quit, if I remember, because like 3 counters are going to take this out essentially. So they bail there. So yeah, balanced team. Bulk, Answer for Steel, okay in the middle, Tapu just all around in the front. You're kind of weak to Fairy, but the Shadow Claws and Shadow Sneaks add up a lot, and you're so bulky enough that you can take a lot of moves with the Fairies, so that's not too bad. Yeah, Giratina is for sure your safe swap here as a pretty good answer to, not answer to most things, but being able to just absorb most things. So yeah, I think is this my last match? Because that was a weird first play here. Yeah, 108. Yeah, maybe 2468 mil metal. Oh no, this is not a weird one because this is a full ranked Steelix here. It was just a weird first play. But I got 2 shields, and now it is Lucario's time to ramp up, and I get hit with the Gramble, and I'm like, you know what? Shadow Ball it is, just to chip this like crazy. And again, this is not stab, but it still does a ton of damage. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, let's claw down. And I now can just claw and sneak my way to victory here. Don't really need to worry about anything because counter Lucario is going to take this in the ending. So I have one more team for this coming tomorrow. And then, so as of right now, I've done 4 sets. I did 2 with this team, 9-1. And then 2 sets with the other team, which you're going to see I had to tweak a bunch. And I went not amazing, but I was like, I don't know. But it's because I had to like tweak a lot, and you're going to see why tomorrow. So you're going to get 2 of these teams tomorrow. So as I was editing this, I did 1 Great League battle. I'm using Jelson just to test out Surf. And in my first game, which I did win, Lantern, Noctowl, Gliscor. And I joked on Twitter. It wasn't a joke. This was the closest I came to just quitting the game. Because it was just like, I can't believe with no meta shift on the first day that I'm running into this core in Great League in my first game. I'm so bored of this core. I'm so bored of this meta. It was just so frustrating. I did win the game because I got like 2 other fun Pokemon, Steelix and a Grimer, and new Surf Jellicent. So I'm just having fun with that team. But yeah, when I saw that Lantern on the lead and then the Noctowl on the back, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me with this. This is the first day. Why are you using this core? So that is why. So with Ultra League, the only reason I went back to Great League is because I don't actually have any more Pokemon. I tried to actually look to building up Florges, and you need to like get 20 hearts with it, and I don't have that built up yet. And then I tried to build up Slurpuff, and then I realized like, oh no, you need like all the XL candies to get the Slurpuff. So I don't have that, and I'm like, so I don't have the Pokemon anymore. So unfortunately, you're only going to get 2 teams for that, and the rest have to be Great League this week. So stay tuned on the weekend and into next week for Great League Pokemon. But actually, so I'll put that team that team with Jelson on Saturday. On Sunday, someone actually mentioned in the comments, I'm like, what do you guys want to see? Like, what do you want to see in Great League? Because I have 180 Pokemon, but I've used these Pokemon 1,000 times. Like, what do you want to see? And someone said, because the meta didn't shift and there's no new moves, now would be a good time to tell me what to build, right? And I'm like, that is interesting because I can do that with what to build, and then I can also do that by looking at the new season of Go Battle League here. And I'm just bringing this up, and I know I'm rambling, but whatever. You guys know how this works. Because there's building for Great League, but if you can build for Great League but also have other Pokemon that can work in the other leagues, that is important. So I'm just going through like colors. Actually, PV Poke does have the color rankings up. I saw that. Mountain Great League, so Ice, Ground, Rock, Steel. water grass and fairy and spring cup. So I gotta like over the next couple days try and think through what Pokemon would be good in Great League will also have place this season in these other cups for you if you want to build them up in the near future. So I'm going to try and do that for Sunday. But that is it. So I appreciate you watching. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate just the comments on the video because it helps the algorithm. But I was about to say, comment. I know what you guys think of the season. I just had a whole video talking about like how the season is rough. This season is going to be rough. But I appreciate you guys watching. And that's it. So thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.